know people always say you can't spell ignorant without IGN, but this situation right here is Exhibit A for why that phrase has stuck. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Rebecca Valentine, the person behind writing the article about Black Myth Wukong and how there were crazy sexual allegations behind the scenes at the company of horrible things, misogynistic things that would be abhorrent to feminism in 2024. We're going on at a Chinese company. And they wanted to bring this to light, to expose it for all to see, to cancel this game before it even comes out. Because honestly, after finding out all this information regarding Sweet Baby Inc. and behind the scenes and how this company refused to work with them, kind of makes sense that the organized nose ring mafia got together and was like, alright, we're going to slander this game into the ground so no one buys it. Just like we did with Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, how'd that work out for you guys? But Rebecca issued a statement, and I was shocked when I saw this initially. And then I read through it and I'm like, oh yeah, no accountability. Once again, and putting the onus on the game company, Game Science, for them to come forward and talk about the issues going on internally there, instead of taking a stance saying, hey, I kind of misreported this and used mistranslated words and actually didn't do the right research behind the scenes and took the complete wrong approach to all this. No. We're not going to be accountable. We're going to keep offloading the problems to another no-name game company that's a small indie-type studio in China and make them be the bad guy. Because, of course, a game journalist isn't going to be coming forward saying, hey, guys, I made a mistake here. They don't know how to do that. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article talking about this statement issued by IGN. And in addition to this statement, we also now have other journalists in the game industry coming forward using IGN's old article as a source of truth. And that can get very scary as we go along. But before we get to that, let's talk about the statement issued by Rebecca Valentine and how she takes zero accountability for her horrific reporting. Last year, we published a comprehensive report on IGN detailing a number of sexist and inappropriate remarks made by multiple developers of Black Myth Wukong, including those in leadership roles at Game Science. As of the publication of this preview, Game Science has yet to provide any response or statement addressing our report or their past remarks. Now, let me stop it right there and say, why the hell would Game Science give you the time of day after you've slandered them into the ground, tried to make them look as bad as possible? What do they owe you? You made a ton of insinuations. You made a bunch of, well, this could be a problem if you look at it from this perspective, or if you think their game logo looks like a sperm, that could be offensive to you, or they have some HR posters on the wall that paint women in a sexual light with slogans underneath them that are offensive to feminists. You want Game Science to speak your language, come to America and talk about why they are in the wrong here. You have got to be completely batshit insane. And as Learning the Law, Manga Lawyer, posted on Twitter, let's not forget how IGN literally used to have a segment called Babeology with half-naked models showing off the latest tech. Like, take a look at your own company before you try to cancel other companies. But then again, that would take some self-reflection, and we all know these journalists don't know how to look at a mirror. Anyways, her statement continues. Like Mitchell, I had the opportunity to see Black Myth Wukong at Summer Game Fest. Though my appointment was admittedly a little strange, I was told as part of my invitation that Game Science would have a statement related to the reports of sexism. I arrived at the appointment and saw the game as planned, but when I asked for the promised statement, I was told by a PR representative Game Science is focused on the demo during play days and will only answer questions related to gameplay. Here's another issue that I have with this statement. There is zero proof, nothing backing her up. Just, hey, I was told, I heard that you guys were going to give me this statement, that you were going to come forward and apologize to us and basically spill your guts for everyone to see about how horrific your game company is so that I could run with that and expose you guys even further and make you look terrible. But they're not going to do that. So why would we believe you, Rebecca, that that was going to happen in the first place. Mitchell's preview doesn't need my validation, but for what it's worth, I fully back everything he's written here. Black Myth Wukong looks like it'll be a great game. It's gorgeous, with snappy combat, fantastic monster design, and some really interesting boss fights. It is also true that several of the people who are making it have made disparaging remarks about women. I mean, what? Like what? Like, this is the whole feminist movement that is indoctrinated on these people, that they have to project to everyone else as what they said is offensive to me. So now you need to be offended too because it's offensive. We all need to be offended because they said things that they hurt my feelings and it made women look bad. It painted women in a disparaging light. And because of that, this game company behind the scenes is really bad. Like, you really got to stretch yourself to get offended by what's happening here. There were no serious physical situations transpiring at this game company. There was nothing abhorrent going on or completely egregious where people need to be put in jail. No, they're just getting their panties in a bunch because people said things that offended them and they want that to be brought to light so that people don't buy the game. Think about that for a second. And they don't seem to be interested either in retracting their past statements or in supporting the numerous women who are being harassed in online conversations about Black Myth Wukong purely for expressing their discomfort with those statements. What the hell does that have to do with the game company making the game? Like, now they need to police online message boards? Like, that's now the game company's responsibility? They need to go in there and be like, hey, don't talk negatively about women. Even though this is a message board talking about our game, that's not in their control. What the hell is this even talking about? What audiences want to do about this conflict is ultimately their choice. This is the most abhorrent letter being written about a game company that is continuing to slander them, put the onus on them, make them come forward and apologize for everything that they've apparently done behind the scenes, when in reality it strikes me and many other people as a feminist getting pissed off that someone is making some off-color jokes or making things that may not fly completely in the United States these days because everyone's so politically correct about everything, but in China, they don't really care about that. But it doesn't matter because you want your feelings and propaganda pushed onto a Chinese company here, and if they don't bend the knee to you, then they're the bad guy? Do you even hear what you're saying right now? One last note. I didn't see any women or femme-coded characters in the demo. Like, okay. Why does that matter? Here we go with the representation injected into a game. It's the developer. They're making the game the way they want to make it. And if they give a demo that doesn't have women in the demo, okay. Like, how's that a problem? There's a lot of games out there that are like that. Now we need to have every representation everywhere just because you want to feel included? I'm so confused by that sentence right there. I was able to confirm from Game Science that there were none present in the section of the game presented to the press. There will be women in the final game, but for now it is impossible to really comment on whether or not Game Science developers' expressed beliefs permeate Black Myth Wukong in a meaningful way. Okay, so what Rebecca is trying to get at here is, because it's a misogynistic company that makes some edgy jokes about women at the workplace, that's going to translate to gameplay, and they want to make sure that it doesn't come through on the game and offend people in America and around the rest of the world. That's why she cares about the inclusivity in the game. Like, talk about searching for a problem and trying so hard to hit a target when it's not even there that you just keep throwing darts trying to hit anything. Like, this is so embarrassing. Valentine's statement fails to address the critical issue of mistranslation that undermined the accuracy of her initial claims. The mistranslation has led to false allegations against Game Science, painting an unfair picture for the developer. And in addition to that, she has paradoxically demanded that Game Science address her false claims, even defend her personally. It places the burden of defense on those she initially attacked without rectifying any of her mistakes. She fired the first shots at this company and is now demanding them to come forward with an apology letter instead of acknowledging that she used mistranslated text to get to the answer and result that she got to initially. And then, to top it all off, she starts talking about how femme-coded characters were lacked in the demo. It's nebulous and subjective, adding another layer of why would she do this? That doesn't have anything to do with anything with this game. It's like she's going so out of her way to prove a point that she's exposing herself as an idiot. And you'd think it would end there, like, oh, that's a terrible statement by ignorant IGN, once again not taking accountability, not owning up to their mistake, and issuing an apology and trying to retract everything and make everything okay again, because let's be honest, what transpired in the background and the accusations of Sweet Baby Inc. and potentially extorting a $7 million attempt from this company, Game Science, and Game Science is like, hell no, we're not doing that, Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Belair. Get the hell out of China, get out of here. And because they did that, the game journos, the nose ring mafia, went full force against Game Science, and they're continuing to do so. Now a new challenger has entered the battle with Morgan Park of PC Gamer, who has been caught pushing IGN's false agenda regarding allegations of sexism and misogyny at Game Science, despite these claims already being debunked, and also, by the way, getting community noted on Twitter, and IGN shutting down replies on that post. With all that being said, this guy still went forward with an article and used IGN as the source of truth for the issue and relating to why Game Science is not a trustworthy company and why this is a problematic studio. And keep it in mind, even if it's an entertaining and fun game, that behind the scenes, this is a bad and evil company that you don't want to give your money to. In his write-up on PC Gamer, Morgan Park said, "You might remember Game Science as the subject of a 2023 IGN report detailing a history of sexism from one of its founders, as well as a wider company culture of misogyny." So literally taking what Rebecca wrote in that initial article as fabrication. It's all lies. Everything could be drummed up as, well, it feels like some people were offended by this, and this may come across as the wrong thing, or this was, if you look at it in a certain light, it could come off as a potentially offensive sexual innuendo. Or I heard that some people at the company overheard some jokes that were edgy and they didn't like it, and that because of it is a hostile work environment, and they have posters up with sexy girls, and they have a logo that looks like a sperm. Like, I can't with these people. Like, it is so bad. It's permeating the entire industry. And now we see journalists from other publications using this false, flagrantly false, completely wrong article from IGN that has not been retracted or apologized about as a source of truth for why they need to continue slandering this company. It's abhorrent. It's gross. It's wrong. It's everything summed up with how games journalism is in 2024. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for all the links, resources, screenshots, and all the fun stuff regarding this. Shout out to Grums, Mangalawyer, so many people on Twitter for bringing all this information to the forefront, because this is what it's turned into, where YouTubers and people on Twitter are able to get the facts right and bring it to you and present it to you in a way where you can understand it and not have that bias from the journos that want you to agree with everything that they send at you. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing on this channel, hit that join button to help support the cause. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash,